a quick discussion here of price action on the BTC, ETH, and SPY futures. Just making this a little bit more private here. Yeah, there we go. No toolbar. Share screen. Okay. The infinite regression. Okay. So, this is not financial advice. I will never contact you directly. Only scammers are going to do that. Not keeping this safe. I am keeping this safe. I will never contact you directly. That's not what I'm doing. Not contacting people directly. There we go. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this. I'm getting information from Traders Reality and Benjamin Cowin. Got to cite your sources. And then as far as charts, I'm using TradingView. I'm using the Traders Reality Indicator, the TDI-GoldMinds, and the RSI. I use the RSI to set alerts that let me know when price is moving. Here's some upcoming topics. Let me know if your thoughts about that. Covering our bases there. Let's dive into the Bitcoin chart. So on Bitcoin, what do we see? We're looking at the daily time frame Bitcoin USD. Over the last period of time here, we saw Bitcoin drop dramatically from its peak, losing almost 50% of its value, down to reaching the 800-day EMA, represented in the purple line here. We had a movement up off of that, retraced to the 50, and rejection, now moving down. So let's go ahead and mark off this 800D EMA support line here. So we're going to keep that one in mind. And while we're at it, let's actually mark our 50-day EMA there as well. So now let's take a look at where we are with some other asset classes here. We've got gold shooting up. This is people, the Ukraine crisis is escalating, so people are nervous about risk on assets. Yeah, funny. Okay. I'm going to leave this line there. That was when somebody told me, walk away from the markets for a little while and don't think about it. So far, their advice has been right because I was about to put money into the SPY. Anyway, SPY, daily time frame, we have a drop down to the 200 EMA, which we have not seen for quite some time. During the whole Fed printing money like mad phase, we moved above the 50-day EMA and rode it like a rented mule. So we are now seeing capitulation below that, right? We had a drop there. Then we rose up out of that. We've had another drop here, and we are staying below the 50-day EMA. Rejection off of it. From moving up above the 50-day to the peak, you see a 70% return over a little over a year. I guess that's 2 years there. And then you see a pretty significant wipe off there, a 10% move to the downside off of the peak. So gold up, SPY down, ETH up. I believe we're seeing, bonds up as well. So people are nervous about risk on assets. That's what we're learning here. If we listen to Benjamin Cowin, what he is saying is that, let's clean this up. Clean up my shitty predictions. Bitcoin. If we listen to Benjamin Cowin, he's looking at some lines roughly in this area where we have our 50 and our 200 EMA moving along here. I think he uses 21-week EMA and 21-week SMA, and he calls that the bull market resistance or support band. If it's above it, you're in a bull market. Well, we are below that on the weekly time frame. So, you know, he's talking about how risky altcoins are at this time and making sure to build up a bit of a strategic cash reserve to buy the dip when it's the actual dip. If you're dollar cost averaging, decrease the speed at which you are dollar cost averaging. That is how he advises to prepare for a bear market. Wow. ETH is dropping like a rock here. Haven't seen 25 for a little while there. So if we look at what Traders Reality would say about these candles and where we are in terms of Forex patterns, right? You've got this big dip here, and this move back down could form a W formation so long as it doesn't break below here. So if we do see a break below 2200 on Ethereum, then this is not going to be an upturn there. That will be a continuation to the downside. Maybe we'll see a head and shoulders pattern, but that's not to be projected at this moment. Roughly, I would think right now that we're going to find a retest of the 800-day EMA on Bitcoin. Whether or not we go up, who's to say? Maybe a weak bounce. It may be a stronger bounce. It could be a weaker bounce that then forms a head and shoulders and we move out. This is what is called uncertainty in the marketplace, right? You have to be open to the possibilities and read and respond. It could be a slight return and then down off of that. Reject, test it from below, move down lower. These are possibilities. You have to be okay with the possibilities of the market. So, Mark Douglas, trading in the zone. You know, you have to accept that you do not know the future of the market and be willing to be wrong. As Tino of Traders Reality would say, you have to pay to play, and you have to decide how much you're willing to spend to be wrong. Anyway, let's get into the more detailed levels here. Where are we likely to go for the SPY? That's my dog scratching at the door.
What are you doing?
I'm live streaming. All right. Dog is in the office. Life is good. Dog now wants out of the office. Typical. Hi, sweetie. So for the SPY on the 1 hour time frame, what are we looking at? With all the tension in Ukraine, I would not be surprised to see a gap down here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start the day a bit lower, possibly even a full percent, and then potentially we fill the gap and move back down away from it. Hard to say. Bitcoin, what are we looking at? We have our daily open right here at 37.2, 37 even. We have our range daily high at 38.9, and we have our range daily low at 35.5. So those are the places where we might expect Bitcoin to move to or away from over the next 24 hours of trading. Our psychological levels for the week, which were set during yesterday's session, are at 40.1 and 39.52. So far trading has moved away from our psychological levels. Based on price action so far, I think we're more likely to see a continued move to the downside. I'm not sure where exactly the last pool of liquidity is for market maker to pick up, but yeah, if we look here, this is the next pool of liquidity within today's range. Marking it in green because that is a potential buying opportunity. For small turnaround trades. So over the daily open, basically recovered this pool of liquidity here, and is likely to come down and grab this pool of liquidity here at 36.45, 36.4. Where do we have more liquidity? Again, we're looking at the 1 hour time frame here. And trying to find pockets of liquidity within our daily range. So the next pocket of liquidity outside of our daily range is 34.5, 34.5, 34,000.5. So green is where we're seeing liquidity to the downside. Where is potential for take profit points to the upside? None of them are within our daily range. We are looking at 39 for a take profit. We're looking at 40.8 all the way up to 43, 43.2, 43.9 as potential take profit points. So those are outside of our current daily range. Looks like liquidity to the downside is most likely what is going to be claimed here. For Ethereum, what are we looking at? We have our range daily low at 24.27. We have our range daily high at 27.5. We have our market open at 25.7. We have our psychological levels set for the week yesterday at 27.67 and at 26.82. Where am I thinking we're going to go? Well, again, pools of liquidity to be released to the upside. Again, that's marked by these vector candles in red here, are outside of our daily range. We do have this little pool of liquidity right there. So maybe we'll see a retest of the psychological low there, and then a rejection down lower. But I think we're unlikely to see moves to the upside right now. Where are the additional pools of liquidity to the downside? Dum 2541, 2337, 22. So that would be the bottom of what would be our W formation if that W formation is to hold. So I do think that we're expected to see a move down to at least 2541 over the next 24 hours. I don't think that's unrealistic at all, considering we are at 2569 right now. We may see a retrace up to as high as 26.8 and then a rejection back down. So I would not be surprised if we go boop, boop, and back down to a range daily low as the New York session comes online and we see what toll Russia and Ukraine are going to have on the markets. Anyway, I think that will about sum up our stream for the day. I hope this was helpful. Again, as always, not financial advice. I will not contact you paper trade until you have it figured out.